Ah ja, Pfannkuchen.
Hello, Big Boss.
Hail to thee, O father of all syrups. Don't look into its light, Sonny. Don't look in.
Does it still work?
Who knows? Maybe Zip's keeping it for decoration, or living in it.
I can easily imagine. Poor bastard.
Once this broken-down old car was new and shiny. Am I a broken-down old car, too? Once this...
It seems so peaceful now, huh? Like a sleeping big cat. Peaceful now, but when it wakes, you're done.
You mean Laura, don't you?
Yeah. I admit I miss her, but I'm also a little afraid to go home to her.
I'm not surprised, since she hasn't heard from you in days. She's gonna pluck you, Marty.
Yeah.
Ich glaube, er hat sich aufgeregt angehört.
I must be crazy, but I love this city.
She almost finished us in the last 2 days, but in the end, we came out on top, right? It's like a never-ending tango of death. Danza de la muerte.
I didn't know you spoke French, Marty. Maybe tonight you'll succeed. Maybe...
Roachtown's stirring.
Thank the gods we're not going to be here when it's fully awake.
I think the buzzing of the hive has its own charm, you know?
Yeah, from afar, on a postcard maybe. But for real? Huh. Thanks, but no thanks.
Last time we were here, it didn't take much, right? Almost lost our beaks back there in the hive.
Yeah, and it was a fish who nearly got us. Hope I'll never have to set foot in Roachtown ever again. Hope I'll never...
Ah, old Zip's finally come to his senses.
I think we may have got to him.
We get to everybody, Boss Bird. Everybody.
It's a pleasant surprise, that's for sure. It's a
Oh, lass mich raten. Die Fliege ist drin.
Well, he's out. He's brave indeed. Or an idiot.
Nein,
They're
die ist
often
nicht
the
da.
same, Marty. And you should know.
I'm gonna try the food here one day.
Well, you have to die of something, right?
Oh, it can't be that bad. Though, I'm sure old Zip's not making it out of premium faux meat.
You have such a delicate way of putting things. You can be glad if he's not serving you one of your relatives.
Haha, you're right about that.
Eat garbage. Yeah, it's more Marty's kind of thing. Eat
Did you know that Caston Mavis is gonna play here next week?
What? You hear that, Sonny? It's a sign. We can't die tonight.
I was just joking, Marty.
Oh.
You hear that, Marty? It's a sign. We can still die tonight.
For a second, I believed he was actually gonna play here.
At the Hop Dog, near Roachtown? Really? Your fault, then.
For a second, I...
At the Hop Dog... Hey, Zip, listen here. This coffee, it's 2 days old.
And?
Nothing. We didn't get it from this, did we?
Would that bother you?
Yeah.
So?
We didn't get...
Would that bother
Yeah.
So?
I had such a feeling. I had such... You said it, not me. Why don't you hire a cook, Zip? Or at least a dishwasher? I know just the guy. Strapping young lad, got quite a big mouth, but he's not that bad, though he does smell like chicken.
Don't you mean that Marty guy? I heard horrible things about him.
They say he names all his guns.
Well, he's a flop with chicks.
Hits first, asks later.
Yeah, a real chicken shit.
Hey, I'm right here.
We know, Marty. That's why it's fun.
Blow me, both of you.
So, that Marty guy, yeah, I'd rather pass on him. When I made him do the dishes last time, he broke more than he cleaned.
Aha, very funny.
So,
Aha.
Let's say hi to the old trash panda.
You mean a last goodbye, right?
He just stands there, waiting for his fate. Zip's a ballsy guy, I gotta admit. He just stands... Hello, Zip. I see they kicked you out.
you know, Sonny. They told me I could stay in there for 48 hours if I wanted.
Well, maybe you should have done that.
Shit, I had enough. Fuck it. You understand? When you interrogated me, you opened my eyes. I don't give a shit about him, about Wessler and his henchmen. Let them come if they want. It's not gonna be easy for them. You can be sure of that.
That's the Zip we know and love.
Thanks, Marty. So, why you here?
One last coffee before the end.
Are you going to get him?
We don't have a choice, Zip. We're grabbing the rat by the tail. No screwing around. No playing it nice.
Ah, I see Ibben's really got to you.
Just Sonny. I'm like this all the time.
Yeah, that's true. And what do you expect will happen when you get there?
They'll either let us in, or we'll blow open the doors and go in guns blazing. How hard can it be?
Well, I'm not sure you know what you're up against, boys, but it's your funeral. I'm just glad I got to know the legendary chicken police.
Hey, don't write us off yet.
I'm just getting ready for all possibilities, Marty. Hey, chicken coppers,
Yeah, Zip?
take care of your feathers for me, okay?
Will do, Zip.
Don't worry. I'll protect this smelly old bird.
Ah, ich hoffe, das wird nicht wirklich ein Cover-Shooter, wenn wir dort sind.
All in all, thanks, Zip. You've been a great help.
Thank you too, boys. You really opened my eyes. If I see Wessler again or any of his goons, I'm gonna plug 'em right there.
I'm not sure that's what we're suggesting.
One more coffee, boys?
Thanks, Zip. Maybe next time.
If there is a next time.
One more coffee?
Thanks.
If there is a next...
Also gut. Wir waren hier. Wir waren hier. Wir waren hier. Wir waren hier. Es ist Zeit.
The sun was shining, and all the ducks were in a row. I felt ready. The pieces of the grand puzzle were laid out on the table. I just needed to piece them all together. A revealing glance or a careless word, and I'd have the answer. I knew we were in the right place. I knew it was nearly over. Was Natasha really just a victim? Or did she know everything? Was she controlling the puppets from behind the curtain? Well, if you don't know where to go straight ahead. What could possibly go wrong?
Alles. Einfach alles.
Here I am, Natasha. I hope you're waiting for me.
Furry gods. I knew he was rich, but wow.
Half the city is in his hands, Marty, and half the Council of 12.
I think we'll catch a big fish today.
Don't count your chickens. I'm sure Wessler's expecting us, and Natasha too, I hope.
You hope?
If I'm right, she could be our only chance of survival.
Lovely prospects, huh?
I've had worse.
Really?
Ah, ich wollte noch zur Polizei, aber ich durfte nicht von Monika mich verabschieden.
Oh, this place has its own greenhouse. What do you think's inside?
100% humidity and unbearable heat.
Oh, not like that. Could they be growing rarities in there?
Or maybe some chicken-eating giant flower monsters.
What? Oh, you just made that up, right? Nah, I'm sure there's no such thing.
Do you remember that case? When that old weasel met us in the greenhouse, just like this one.
Of course I remember. We barely talked for 5 minutes, but you drank 2 full glasses of brandy with that old guy.
I needed hydration. It was boiling in there.
Hydration, huh?
A real jungle grows in the middle of the concrete jungle.
And the poet is lost in the jungle.
A real
And the Huh, one of Wessler's ancestors, maybe.
Wessler's ancestors were poor cobblers. More likely, this represents what he thinks of himself.
I wonder how chivalry is compatible with organized crime.
Ibn was planning to leave the underworld.
When his twin brother tore out his tongue, poked out his eye, killed him, and took his place?
Yeah.
Must be some famous historical figure. How are you with history?
Not so good.
You know, I've always been fascinated by the Founding War, especially the last great battle between the Alliance and the Swamp Clans.
Don't believe the tales they tell about the war, Marty. There's nothing glorious or beautiful in it. Just endless suffering and misery.
Recht
And
hat
a
er.
lot of money, of course.
That too.
Maybe one day, you'll get your own statue at the PD, boss. I can almost see it now.
Not while Blood Boil's alive.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Maybe one day, you'll get your...
Und wir haben tatsächlich ein bisschen Farbe hier.
Is this a mansion or a grand palace?
Or a small city.
Well, if it comes to hide and seek, old Wessler will have an advantage.
A serious advantage. Look at all these plants. It's like nature's claiming back what's hers.
Yeah, amazing.
Strange how someone so rotten inside, like Wessler, can still dream something so beautiful to surround himself with. Look at all these plants.
What the hell is it? Water tower? Turret? A frickin' lighthouse?
I think it's a monument to an enormous ego, Marty.
Well, anyone who builds a tower this big must be trying to compensate for something.
Or he just has too much dough.
It's a long way down.
Well, we could finally find out if you can fly or not. Want to try?
It's a long... Quite the steed, isn't it?
Seems nowadays organized crime pays well in Clawville.
Are you surprised? The chicken police retired.
Well, they say the team's back together again.
Nah, that's impossible.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
We could also drive around in one of these, huh? You think we would have made it as gangsters?
I don't think so, Marty. We're born to be suckers.
Honest suckers, at least.
Same thing. Wessler sure has a sense of style.
Do you mean his car or Natasha?
Both.
Fair enough.
Wessler sure has a sense of...
Hey, not so fast, chickens.
Ah,
Please
du
excuse
kannst
my
reden.
partner. We didn't mean to be rude, it's just his terrible habits, as you may already know.
Look who's here.
What a surprise. Our biggest fans.
What do you think? Should we give them our autographs?
Please tell me there's gonna be a glorious shootout.
If we're lucky, Marty. If
Bitte
we're
nicht.
lucky.
Please tell me. Ah, look what the cat dragged in.
Funny, I don't recognize them.
Well, maybe if they had some guns with them? Tommy guns?
Oh, yeah. Now I remember. The two suckers in the luxury van you shot to pieces. Twice.
Exactly.
What are you doing here, chickens? Would you like us to finish what we started?
We'd love to have fun with you boys, but we need to talk to your boss. And while we're at it, the lady of the house is also expecting us.
Is that so?
Yeah, that's so horny.
In that case, I guess there's no reason for us to waste your precious time. Is that right, Gabriel?
Get the hell out of our sights while there are still feathers on your skin, chickens.
Easy, pal. We're not even here anymore. Until next time, boys.
Do you sense that, Sonny?
I do sense something. A case of hyper-stupidity.
And utter incompetence.
You're right.
Don't shit with me, you foul. It won't work well for you.
I'm afraid my partner speaks the truth, gentlemen.
Such tall and handsome creatures, aren't they, partner?
Sure are, partner. Do you sense that, son?
This must lead to Wessler and Natasha's suite.
Let's get the big guns out and kick the door down.
No need for that, Marty. We'll wait until they invite us in, like real gentlemen. Then maybe we'll need the guns. But I hope it won't come to that.
Oh, my trigger finger's itching, Sonny. Someone's gotta pay.
Relax, Marty. Someone is gonna pay. Tonight.
Yeah, just don't let it be us. This place is incredible, but it kinda gives me the creeps.
Because you know what lies behind the beauty.
With Natasha, too?
I haven't decided yet. I wonder how Albert feels about this place. From a cell to a mansion.
Insane, isn't it?
You took the words right out of my beak. I wonder how...
It's like the vegetation's trying to suffocate these beautiful walls.
Maybe it will. Maybe in 100 years, nothing will be here but plants. An endless, planet-sized jungle.
That's quite a dark thought.
Yeah, it is. It's like some ancient virus is poisoning the place.
Do you mean the plants or Albert?
Both, I guess. It's like some...
Do you mean...
Both, I guess.
Huh. I wasn't expecting to see Olivia here.
She's real close to Wessler. But how much does she know?
Much more than me, I guess.
That wouldn't be hard. Maybe you should talk to her. She was your girlfriend after all.
We only had 2 dates, and they weren't great.
Why am I not surprised? Maybe you should...
Ah, what a pleasant surprise. Hello, Olivia. Sweetie.
Get lost.
What did you say, ma'am?
Turn around and get the hell out of here now, if you want to make it out with feathers intact.
Come on, Olivia. Don't worry about us. We know what we're doing.
Martin!
Huh?
Don't you get it? You have to get out of here or you'll be in danger, and also her.
Do you mean Natasha? Please calm down, miss. We have to talk to Mr. Wessler and Miss Katsenko.
You really don't understand, do you?
What do they not understand, Olivia? So, what is it exactly that our guests don't understand?
I was trying to tell the detectives that Mr. Wessler's very tired and doesn't welcome guests this early. He gets rather irate if he's being disturbed at this hour.
I'm sure Mr. Featherland and Mr. McChicken can wait here while Ibn refreshes himself. I'll entertain them until then.
Thank you, Miss, Katsenko.
Please, Sonny. I thought we've already discussed this. Call me Natasha.
Please, Natasha, can we talk to you in private?
Martin?
It's all right, Olivia. These gentlemen are my friends.
Yes, Miss Katsenko. I tried to warn you.
Thanks, Olivia?
Maybe you should talk to her. She was your girl.
I tried to warn you.
Thanks?
Not yet. First, we should talk to Natasha.
You're right, Sonny.
You know, I had a dream before we came here. I saw Natasha with a bloody mouth and red claws.
And? What does that tell you?
I don't know, Marty. I admit it. I haven't been this on edge for a long time.
I'm just angry. Truth is, I'm not entirely sure why.
Your sense of justice kicking in?
More like my sense of don't fuck with the chicken police. There she is, the femme fatale.
Yeah, our fate's in her hands.
And what lovely hands they are, huh?
With sharp claws, Marty.
So wie es mag.
Come on, Sonny. Deep breath. Pull yourself together.
Olivia versuchte, uns aus Westlers Herrensitz zu verscheuchen. Merkwürdig, aber sie schien sich echt Sorgen um uns zu machen.
The truth is, Ibn isn't really in a good shape today, gentlemen. He's rather furious. Are you sure this can't wait?
You commissioned us, Natasha, and we barely escaped with our combs intact.
So you know who left the threats?
Oh, we know much more than that, Natasha. We even know where you used to work. We talked to Madame Zavas.
Wild gods!
Why didn't you tell us?
Do you think it's easy for a woman to talk about such things, that she used to be an escort?
Along with Molly?
So you know.
Yeah, I know, Natasha. I also know all of this was a trap.
Believe me, I tried to handle things the least painfully I could. You weren't even supposed to know.
A lot shouldn't have happened. Poor Deborah shouldn't have had to die.
Dear sweet Deborah.
Cold, stiff Deborah.
Please don't say that.
A price worth paying?
You cannot think I had anything to do with that. You just cannot.
I don't know, Natasha.
Please, Sonny, tell me, what is going on?
You have to know, right?
Please.
Excuse me for making you wait, detectives. I'm having a rough morning after a long night.
Is that so? Our night was also kinda long.
To put it mildly.
I was just telling the gentlemen that you were exhausted, my dear, and they should come back another time. I'll escort them out.
Oh, honey, no need for that. My door's always open to the legendary chicken police. Please, come on in, guys. Let's talk in my room.
Then this way, please.
You just stay here, my darling. I'm sure our conversation will bore you to death. Please, go and refresh yourself, or tell Olivia to go make some coffee.
Yes, dear. Whatever you like.
Please, follow me, gents.
Lead on, Wessler. So long, sweetheart.
Goodbye.
Natascha wollte uns von Westlers Zuhause fortschicken. Warum? Nur aus Sorge um uns? Oder hat sie ein anderes Motiv? Oh, wir haben ein Bild zu Albert.
Come on, Sonny. Deep breath. Pull yourself together.
I tried to...
This estate is rather impressive, Mr. Wessler.
Well, thank you.
I suppose it took years and years of cumbersome work to build it.
Yeah. As you say, Mr. Featherland, I'm rather proud of it.
You should be. Whoever built this place has a reason to be proud of himself.
Are you trying to say something, sir?
No, just thinking aloud. I can see you're very attracted to nature. I thought rats preferred the urban environment. Oh, don't take that the wrong way, of course.
Not all rats are the same, Detective. Natasha and I love the closeness of nature. Yeah, especially lately.
I find cold, close walls repulsive.
I don't understand why you're telling me this.
Oh, it's nothing. Not important. I'd just like to grab him and throw him out the window. It would finally end everything, quick and easy. It would finally...
Yeah, would you like a drink? This is a rather rare brandy. It lifts the spirits, if I may be so, poetic.
Really? Tempting, but I need to keep a clear head, Mr. Wessler.
Yeah, I've heard you don't despise a good vintage.
And I've heard you don't despise murder, Wessler. By the way, you've heard right. But everything has its place and time. Drinks, guns, dead bodies, and the truth.
Yeah, I see you're in a poetic mood as well.
More like prophetic.
And that's not a good sign.
Yeah, are you trying to intimidate me?
No, that's not how we do business. We're gentlemen.
I really hope so.
It's a little early for that, isn't it?
Eh, some people need coffee to start their day, Mr. Featherland. I start with a good brandy.
Damn. You know what? In your place, I'd do the same. Maybe I should confiscate it as evidence. Maybe I... Do you keep a revolver in your bedroom?
Yeah, a bad habit. One who has a lot to lose has a lot to fear.
I agree. Have you been suffering from nightmares recently?
Yeah, no. I sleep like a baby if you want to know.
Really? I've been plagued by them, so I always sleep with my gun.
I'm, sorry to hear that.
It's an unmistakable sign. It's an
Farewell from Fowls. A chicken police story.
impressive bed. Looks cozy.
Sure is better than a cell.
That's right, Marty.
I'm not sure I understand, gentlemen.
We'll see about that. It almost gives me the creeps just looking at it. You know?
This painting.
It's beautiful and rather provocative. Almost makes my comb stand up.
I'm not surprised.
But the corner is missing.
You're right, Sonny. You're quite the observer.
Well, yeah, this painting's unfortunately damaged. I don't know where the missing piece could be.
You don't know? Well, if you're interested, we know exactly where it is.
Really?
Really. It's here with us.
An insignificant little piece, isn't it? But there's an exciting cat scratch on it.
More like a rat scratch, because it's a monogram.
A.W.
That's...
Albert Wessler. He's a great painter. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Enough! Out with it already. What are you trying to say? I have no time for your childish charades.
Easy, Wessler. We'll get to that in a bit.
Ja, stimmt, da unten rechts fehlt das.
It's unbelievable how much trouble one single painting can make.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean, Detective.
I'll make it clear for you soon enough. Be patient, Mr. Wessler.
Even my patience has its limits, you know.
I'm not surprised painting it drove Albert crazy. I'm not su-
Gut, haben wir alles untersucht.
Interesting. Now that I know who he really is, he doesn't even resemble Ibn Wessler. The whole thing's so transparent. We must finally put an end to this case, even if it kills us. We must finally put an end to this case, even if it kills us.
So, what do you want to know? I've heard you've been through a rather eventful few days.
Oh, you have rather good informants.
Yeah, that's true. I should tell you, I see and hear everything that happens in the city. And you are exceptionally resilient. No offense.
None taken. But tell me, are we gonna flatter each other for a long time, or are we finally done with the courting?
Straight to the point. I like it. Yeah, so let's continue like that, shall we? What do you want? How dare you intrude upon me in my own house?
Oh, forgive us. Our moral compass has been confused a little bit after someone tried to kill us several times in the last 48 hours. With fire, with machine guns. I could go on.
And while we're at it, you could answer some of our questions. If you've nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear.
And then we'll just leave you alone.
All right. I'll go along with your childish little game. I would have had a long and tedious day ahead of me anyway. So, can we start?
With pleasure, Mr. Wessler.
My time's precious, chickens. Get to the point before I lose my patience.
Don't rush us, Mr. Wessler. We'll get to the point when it's time.
My time's...
I have no idea what she sees in you, but Natasha's been seriously worried about you.
Yeah, she, really worries more than usual, but it's understandable. Those disgusting messages.
Disgusting, all right. Do you know why that word exactly? Why did they write that specific word everywhere?
Since you've been to the Nile, I guess you know the answer to your question.
Didn't it bother you, Wessler? What Natasha used to do? Surely it must have upset you.
Why? Did it upset you when you discovered your wife did the same thing?
What did you just say?
What did you think, chicken? That I didn't know? Yeah, don't make me laugh. I know about everyone who ever set foot in that place. I can even tell you who Molly's regulars were, if you're interested.
You son of a bitch.
Sonny, don't.
Yes, detective?
Not yet.
You're right, Marty. It's not worth it.
You're funny, you know that?
About the painting.
Yeah. My brother Albert made it. He's a great talent, but, still, he's a rather troubled individual.
Such self-criticism.
What did you say?
My partner means that you and your brother are very much alike. Identical twins, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed. But, what does that have to do with the painting?
We'll get to that. Don't worry, Mr. Wessler. So Albert made the painting at your request, is that right? And the one that's in Natasha's room in the Tsar, too.
Yeah, exactly. Is that a crime?
No, it's not a crime in itself. This picture, it's rather strange, you know?
Why do you think so? It's just me, Natasha, and my brother.
The photo doesn't tell much in itself, yes. But if you already have the right information, suddenly it starts to talk.
Really?
He fell in love with her, didn't he?
Who'd you mean?
Albert, of course. He fell in love with Natasha. All those sessions while he was painting the pictures. Were you there every time?
You mean, me?
You.
No. I mean, while Albert was painting, yeah, but I wasn't there all the time. Albert was there, all along.
And do you think he could have fallen in love with Natasha? That's why he escaped? What do you think happened to him? Who tore out his tongue?
I have no idea.
Did Natasha know about what happened to your brother?
No, of course not.
Do you love beautiful things, Wessler?
Why do you ask that? Yeah, of course.
You were afraid of losing her, weren't you? To him.
Stop. Enough. If you want to ask something, ask clearly. Don't play with me. You understand?
We're just doing our job.
Then do it clearly. And quickly. Yeah, I'm really starting to lose my patience.
We visited Albert's cell and found something he seems to have forgotten to take with him in his great hurry.
That's a big mistake.
A classic, even.
What the hell are you babbling about?
This is Albert Wessler's love letter to Natasha.
More like a confession.
In which he tells her he's capable of doing anything for her, even the most horrible things.
Yeah, this letter doesn't prove anything at all. Albert is mad. Insane. He's not, normal. No one would believe his word, don't you understand?
But they believe yours, right? Because you're not Albert Wessler. You're Hobart Ibn Wessler, aren't you? How good it feels to be in his skin.
How dare you?
Just tell him, Sonny. I'm getting tired of this.
You're just a cheap fake, Albert. You couldn't follow in your brother's footsteps even if you wanted to. No matter how hard you tried, you couldn't get Natasha either. Am I right?
What? What did you just say?
She hates you, doesn't she? She doesn't know. She doesn't understand why. But she hates you. It's instinctive.
Yeah, what do you know? What could you possibly know about suffering and loneliness and the darkness? What could you know about hate, huh? My time's precious.
Albert is an imposter. He's not who he says he is, and might not even know who he really is. I have to concentrate on this first, to soften him up, and to avoid us being shot in the gizzard, of course. What were you thinking, Albert? How long did you think you could keep it up?
Until the end of my life, if needs. Yeah, I cared about nothing except for her to love me. Not for who Ibn was, but for who I am.
Why did you think that would happen? Everybody noticed the change.
Yeah, I knew it would be hard, Santino. But I also knew animals see what they want to see. I didn't have to behave like Ibn. They only had to believe I'm him.
Haben sich entschieden, an die Stelle ihres Bruders zu treten. Sie wollten alle um ihre schmutzigen kleinen Finger wickeln, nicht wahr?
You wanted to wrap everyone around your dirty little fingers, didn't you?
I couldn't involve anyone. You have to understand. No one besides myself, of course.
So, you included yourself in the plan, and did you agree with you?
Do you think it's funny, Santino? The position I'm in? Do you think I did it for power?
You wanted to rule over something, didn't you? Especially over Natasha.
I wanted to rule my fate. My actions, my will, myself. And yeah, and over everyone else who ever did me wrong, or who I once loved.
Such selflessness.
Selflessness? Don't make fun of yourself, Sonny. Selflessness is the refuge of the weak and cowardly. Tell me, did you act out of selflessness when you decided to involve your partner in all this?
No, Mr. Wessler, but it's not about me.
You see? You two are just hypocrites, pathetic statues. But under your stone skids, you're nothing but rotting corpses.
Have you ever thought that maybe you should have become a psychologist?
Yeah, you won't be laughing for long, Santino. I guarantee it.
-5. Genießen Sie es, über andere zu bestimmen, Albert? Haben Sie jemals geglaubt, dass Sie Ibn Wessler sind? Warum mussten Sie Ibn verstümmeln? Warum ihn nicht einfach sofort töten? Haben Sie es genossen, Ihrem Bruder die Zunge herauszureißen? Wie fühlte sich das an?
Did you enjoy tearing out your own brother's tongue? How did it feel?
Yeah, you think you know everything, don't you? You know nothing. It was the sacrifice of a lifetime. But most are too cowardly to act when the time comes.
On the contrary, it's a cowardly act. Is that why you hate yourself so much, Albert?
Don't call me that, you hear?
I can't help it, that's your name.
Albert Whistler's dead, Mr. Featherland.
Oh, das hat ihm gar nicht gefallen. Was hätten Sie getan, wenn Natascha etwas bemerkt hätte? Auch Sie umgebracht?
What would you have done if Natasha found out? Kill her too?
You know what? Maybe yeah. Maybe I would have ended myself too.
Narcissistic pricks like you never commit suicide, Albert.
Yeah. Are you sure you want to insult someone who's pointing a revolver at your stomach, Detective?
Vernehmung fehlgeschlagen. Du musst auf deine Instinkte hören, Sonny. Konzentriere dich auf den Fokus und versuche es.
Albert is an imposter. What were you thinking?
Until the...
Why did you...
Yeah,
Okay, dann nehmen wir diesmal das zweite.
Why did you decide to take your brother's place?
Yeah, as you're curious. From the moment I laid eyes on Natasha for the first time. But I had to convince myself that this was the only way.
You've never talked about your feelings for Natasha with your brother, am I right?
Are you insane? Yeah, Abel would have had me killed immediately. And no one would ever know.
So instead, you've done the same thing, haven't you? What a comfortable excuse.
Comfortable? Do you think all of this was just some kind of cruel game for me? I had to destroy the person I loved and respected the most.
Cry me a river.
Yeah, you know, there's only a thin, fragile membrane between love and hate. If anything touches it, it tears immediately. You felt like this before, haven't you? Yeah, I can see it in your eyes.
You can analyze me until the sun goes down, Wessler. But you won't get far with that.
Yeah, evasive answer. So I'm right.
Das erste oder das zweite?
Why did you have to mutilate Ibn? Why didn't you just kill him immediately?
That's an interesting question, you see, but the answer is exceptionally simple. No matter how strange it is for you to understand, I loved my brother.
Weird way of showing you love, Albert.
You can't understand that. He was my everything, the only one who was close to me. Until I met Natasha.
She took your brother's place pretty quickly, didn't she? There's not much room in your heart, as I see it.
Yeah, you're understanding the situation, Detective, but you know, very well it's not that simple. Ibn was my brother. I loved him despite all of his flaws and foul, petty lies. And that's why I couldn't kill him.
Not immediately, you mean?
Unfortunately, tearing out his tongue wasn't enough. Yeah, I must admit I've underestimated him.
And poking out his eye?
Oh, that was just an accident, Mr. Featherland.
Just an accident? You're a dirty, clucking son of a vermin, Albert.
Please, don't be vulgar, Sonny. It's too dangerous in your current situation, and doesn't even suit you.
Sie glauben also, dass sie gleichzeitig zwei Personen sind und das sogar jetzt?
So you feel you're two people at the same time, even now?
Does it sound crazy? Maybe it is. But Ibn lives inside me. Sometimes he's even stronger than Albert ever was.
Do you think you can avoid the gas chamber with this, Albert?
I don't have to avoid anything, Sonny. You and your friend, will never leave this place. It's better if you start getting used to the thought.
You're not the cold-blooded killer you'd like to think you are.
Yeah, do you think so? Try me, Detective.
Das war also ihr Plan. Sie bringen ihn um. Und wenn sie nicht gestorben sind, dann leben sie noch heute. Was hätten sie getan, wenn Natascha etwas bemerkt hätte? Auch sie umgebracht?
What made you think you could deceive Natasha?
Because Natasha loved Ibn, in her own unique way. Yeah, and if there's anything that can blind an animal, it's love and hate. Everything revolves around these two things, Mr. Featherland.
Is everything black and white to you?
No. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Everything's gray in this world. Only two things have color.
Love and hate?
I see you understand now, Sonny. Yeah, we're not that different, you and I.
Albert, you're everything I'm not. And I'm everything you're not, believe me.
Yeah, if that makes it easier for you, Detective.
Das war also ihr Plan.
That was your plan. Take his place and live happily ever after.
Why? Isn't it good enough of a plan, Mr. Featherland? It was perfect, even in its imperfection.
Which is?
Ibn's ghost.
His what?
Please don't take it literally, Mr. Chicken. I'm not talking about, spirits. When Ibn died, I didn't just take his place, but also his role. He himself, his essence, if you will. Yeah, though I guess that's too much for you to understand.
So you mean Ibn's here with us, even now?
He was here all along. Don't you get it? I am Hobart Ibn Wessler.
I must get serious, because looking at the gun in Wessler's trembling hand, I'm afraid I don't have much time. Albert is a cruel psychopath, but maybe I can turn that cruelty against him. When was the moment you decided to kill him, Albert?
When I drew the last stroke on that fatal painting, Mr. Featherland. When I glanced at it for the last time, and then at Natasha, who was shivering under the weight of my gaze.
You simply fell in love with her? End of story?
Not in the slightest, Mr. Featherland. Love is, just chemistry. What I felt was more than that.
Everybody thinks that, Albert. But we all feel the same. We're just fools.
No, Mr. Featherland. Not at all. At that moment, I knew what I was gonna do. I knew that the world was coming to an end if I didn't do it. It implodes on itself and ceases to exist. I couldn't let that happen. I couldn't.
Let him have her, right? You simply wanted her for yourself.
I wanted her for ourselves, Sonny. I was him by then. He just didn't know it yet.
Verwundet. Sie genossen es doch alle an der Nase rumzuführen, oder? Sie glauben also wirklich, dass sie alles mit ihrer Verrücktheit erklären können? Es ist nur eine billige Kopie, das wissen sie doch. Womit hatte sie verdient, dass Ibn sie einsperren ließ?
What did you do that made Ibn get you locked up?
That's a sharp turn, Detective.
It just came to me, you know? Where did it all start? Where did all the hate and jealousy come from?
Jealousy? What are you talking about?
Oh, come on, Albert. Alone, locked up at the end of the world, while your brother is one of the most influential figures of Clawville, driving an expensive car, living in a mansion, with the city's most desirable woman in his bed. Why wouldn't you be jealous?
Yeah, Albert was jealous of Ibn. Maybe he still is. But I understand why he did it. Albert was beyond control and dangerous.
What does that mean exactly?
Albert did our mother wrong. Poor old Mom. She never heard her fly. But Albert couldn't take that she was praising his brother all the time while Albert was just an unsuccessful, foolish, poor painter.
What did you do to her, Albert?
Albert killed her. It looked like an accident, but Ibn knew it wasn't. That was the last straw. Albert had to be locked up, and he agreed. He never said no to his brother.
But he never forgot who did this to him either, did he?
Ibn was really good to him. Visited him every week. Did everything he could. Even introduced Natasha in the end.
And that was his downfall.
Both of them, Sonny. And yours, too.
Haben Sie Ibn oder sich selbst mehr gehasst, Albert?
Did you hate Ibn or yourself more, Albert?
Albert hated himself the most ever since he was born. He idolized Ibn. But every time his brother stood before him, he saw what he could have been himself if he had enough strength. But he didn't. Albert had always been a coward, a pitiful nobody.
And now?
Finally, there's no more Albert. And no more Ibn either. It's only me, and for both of them, I'm perfect.
Can it be that the fear is making you say these things, Albert?
Stop calling me that.
I have to call you something. What should I call you? What name should I use?
I don't know anymore. I don't.
I'm very close to breaking him. But if I'm too hard on him, I could quickly be signing my death warrant. It's time to dig a little bit deeper and uncover Wessler's wounds.
Wenn Sie noch Rückgrat hätten, hätten Sie diese Waffe gegen sich selbst gerichtet. Natascha war gut zu Ihnen, nicht wahr? Zu gut.
Natasha was kind to you, right? Too kind.
Natasha was simply amazing, gentle, kind, lively, but still so distant.
You're telling me.
It's like she was from another world. A world where everything's full of charm and grace and everything's fragile and delicate. Do you understand?
I think I do, yes.
I knew Albert's touch would harm her. Albert is rough. Albert can't keep such a delicate thing in his arms.
That's why you had to become Ibn, am I right?
I didn't take Ibn's place, Mr. Featherland. I became one with him, can't you see? It's the only way I could comprehend and accept the miracle that was Natasha.
Was?
I think I've corrupted her. She's not that gentle and pure creature I painted on the canvas anymore. I ruined her. She became rotten under my hands.
Maybe it's not too late, Albert. Tell her the truth and end this.
No. You can't understand this. She can't either. I killed Ibn, but he also killed me, can't you see? We're nothing without each other.
You can't be two people at the same time, Albert. Nobody can bear the weight of the sins of two souls.
Ibn loved her. I admired her. Ibn was crazy about her. I've been crazy for a long time. Ibn idolized her, and I hated her. And if there's anything more blind, more devoted, more extreme, and more true than love, it could only be hate, Mr. Featherland. It's an endlessly exciting, thrilling, and warm feeling. And infinitely red. Just like love.
You know you're not going to be able to go through with it, right? That you won't be able to carry the weight. But you still did it. Why?
Yeah, if I didn't kill him and become one with him, Albert would have died, Mr. Featherland.
And the threats? Which one of you was that? Albert or Ibn? Who wrote them? And which one of you killed Deborah?
In my world, Ibn and I are inseparable. Just like love and hate are one and the same. And I hate Natasha so much that I could destroy myself along with her, just so she would die with me. Are you familiar with this feeling, Mr. Featherland?
More than life itself.
You see? We're not so different after all.
You and I have nothing in common, Wessler. You know why?
Why, Mr. Featherland?
Because if I were in your shoes, I would have pulled the trigger a long time ago.
Goodbye, Sonny.
So long, Albert.
Brauchbarer Cop. Albert ist Ibn Wessler. Der geisteskranke Albert hat den Platz seines Bruders eingenommen und versucht jetzt alle Spuren zu verwischen. Wenn wir ihn jetzt nicht überführen, ist es vielleicht zu spät. Das ist der perfekte Ort für einen Cliffhanger. Bis zum nächsten Mal.